Tehillim was not only written, there are 150 chapters, they weren't all written by King David. King David compiled the whole Tehillim and wrote some of the chapters. There are 10 people that wrote the chapters. One of them was Moshe, sons of Korach, and one of them was Adam Harishon, first man. This chapter, Mizmor Shilei Shabbos, was written by Adam. This chapter was written by Adam Harishon. That's why it's also said on Shabbos. He was born right before Shabbos. Shabbos was when he had the problem with sinning, the Eitzadas, yada, yada, yada. We'll go through it. We say this 3 times on Shabbos. That's how special this chapter is. We say it once Friday night, once Shabbos after davening, and the Yom, and we say it once in the middle of davening on Shabbos afternoon, morning. So it's very special. But I'd like to delve an insight on the last few, today at least, on the last few sentences, verses. Verse 13. It says as follows: Tzadik katamar yifrach. The righteous will flourish like a palm. Ke'erez bavanan yizgeh, as a cedar in Lebanon he grows. He was just now compared, a tzaddik was compared to a date palm and a cedar tree, 2 different types of trees. Shesulam beveis Hashem, planted in the house of God. B'chatzreis Elokeinu yafrichu, they will flourish in the courts of God. And we finish off, they will yet grow in old age, fat and fresh will they be. Lahagid ki yosh Hashem, to declare the Lord is upright. Suri, my rock, v'leyav lasabai, whom there is no injustice. A tzaddik, a righteous person, they are compared to 2 types of trees. One is a cedar tree, one is a date palm. Cedar tree is completely barren. Completely barren. Date palm has dates, it's not barren. It has sweet dates and everything. What's the difference? Say our sages, there are 2 types of tzaddikim. There are 2 types of righteous people. There are certain righteous people that are righteous and they sit in yeshiva a whole day and learn. They daven a whole day and they don't go out into the world. The knowledge they're gaining is their own knowledge. They're doing this for themselves. And those people who are less than them, who view themselves less than them, people who are not as religious as they are, they're completely separate from them. We call this in Yiddish, Mr. Birig, what do we call it in Yiddish? A tzaddik in a pelz. A pelz is a fur coat. What does that mean? That means we have a whole room here. We're cold. There are 2 ways to warm ourselves up. One person can go and take his coat, and guess what? He just warmed himself up. Or he can go and light a bonfire. And what does the bonfire do? Warms everyone else up. There are 2 types of tzaddikim. One type is he sticks to himself. The other type of tzaddik is he goes out into the world, and just like the date palm is sweet and is fruitful and grows more fruit, he goes out and tries to bring people back to the fold of Yiddishkeit, of Judaism.
He has to be religious, though?
No one said that. I didn't say that, by the way.
No, I'm asking a question.
No. Let me explain something to you. You asked a very good question, Tony. We, in our prayers, Is there a prayer book around here? Can I borrow your sitter, please? In our morning prayers, we say as follows. Right before Shema, the blessing before Shema. Yep, and Ava Rabba. We say as follows. Avinu ha'avarachman. God, our dear Father, our merciful Father, Hamirachim, who has mercy on us. Rachim aleinu, v'sein b'libenu, put into our hearts. Lahavin, to understand. Lahaskil, to elucidate. Lishmaya, to listen. Lilmai, to be able to learn. We're asking God to give us strength for all these things. And then we say, Lilmai, to learn, Ula Lamed, and to teach. That one doesn't make sense. Why does any Tom, Dick, and Harry, why does any doctor or lawyer, plumber or veterinarian, why do they say this? God, give us strength to learn and to teach. They're not teachers. Who should be saying, God, give us strength to teach? Teachers. Teachers in yeshiva. Teachers in school.
Well, why aren't we all teachers?
Says Rav Moshe Feinstein, the great Rav Moshe Feinstein said, we're all teachers. So if someone walks into the synagogue, thanks, Mike. If someone walks into the synagogue and he's not religious, right? He has the same obligation to say the same thing as I do. He's no less than me, or no less than you, or no less than anyone else. He has the same obligation because everyone in life is a teacher. Everyone in life is a role model. Every Jew, as a matter of fact, we are all ambassadors, what they call, of God. We all represent God, and we are all teachers of godliness. So when you're walking in the street, right, and you do an honest business deal, and someone says, wow, that's a Jew. He's honest. You just taught a lesson. You don't have to be, Kiddush Hashem. But again, you don't have to be religious for that. What? You don't have to be religious to get someone to come into a shul to put on film. To bring them back to the fold of Judaism to a certain degree. Everyone has their degrees, their extents that they come back, right? But that's exactly what I'm saying here. We are all those teachers, Tony. Doesn't matter how religious we are. Doesn't matter how much religion or observance, I like the word better, observance, that we're lacking. We're all teachers, and we're all bringing people back. When we walk in the street, when we do business deals, when we go to a doctor, by the way, everyone's looking at us. Whether you're religious or not, whether you're observant or not, everyone's looking at us to see how we act and how we do business and how we do and how we, everyone.
That's true.
And therefore, we are all teachers, and we are all showing people how to act and react.
How about an atheist Jew? Where do they fall into?
I don't believe that there is such a thing as an atheist, by the way. They could claim all they want they're atheists. I don't believe it. If you push them to the corner, in most cases they'll admit that in some shape or form they do believe in a higher power. Once they're telling you they believe, or they give you the notion that they believe in some type of a higher power, they're not an atheist anymore. I had someone not too long ago tells me he's an atheist, right? We got him to put on film. Does that mean he's an atheist now? Okay, we have famous video clip of a Jew who became a missionary. Converted, so to speak. And he went to the Lubavitcher Rebbe for dollars. You can look this up on YouTube. It's on YouTube. And he goes to the Rebbe and he's trying to give the Rebbe one of these missionary books. And the Rebbe wouldn't take it. And the Rebbe, and he's telling the Rebbe how he was once Jewish and now he's Christian and he saw the light. So the Rebbe tells him, "You're still a Jew." He says, "No, you don't understand. I converted." He says, "It doesn't matter. A Jew is a Jew. You'll never be able to give up that Jewishness." Anyway, the bottom line, the Rebbe tells him, "Okay, I understand. You're going through a phase. It's not a healthy phase. You're not healthy." He says, "I'm very healthy. Thank God, and I'm very happy." So the Rebbe answers him, part of a sickness is thinking that you're healthy when you're really sick. Okay? Thinking everything's hunky-dory. And that was it. And he passed the Rebbe. The Rebbe wouldn't take the book. Then the Rebbe called him back. And the Rebbe took the book and says, "I'm taking this to make sure at least one other Jew won't get this." And he walks by and the Rebbe threw it over his shoulder. Fast forward 25 years later, they found this guy learning in a yeshiva in Switzerland. Okay? Or Adam Arishan said in this chapter, there are two types of tzaddikim. There are tzaddikim who are tzaddikim for themselves. They keep to themselves. There are other tzaddikim who go out to the world. Whatever we learned was not for ourselves. Whatever we learned was to give over to other people. And many of us, right, that's our lives, to give over to other people. A tzaddik that is like the cedar tree, right? He stays to himself, keeps himself warm. And there's some of these tzaddikim, you shouldn't allow them to deal with other people, because they'll turn them off
So
too.
let me ask a question. In the idea of a tzaddik, is a tzaddik that you're describing who keeps to himself, he's like a cedar tree, is that really a complete tzaddik if he's not teaching and touching other people?
He's a tzaddik as far as his godly, as himself is concerned. He's very godly, he's very holy, and let me tell you something. And there are many of these people, like I said, shouldn't be allowed to go to other people. They'll turn them off. They're on such a high level, many of them, right? Just keep them away from other people because they'll turn them off. On the other hand, you have people who want to go out to other people, right? And they're not able to either. They want to touch souls. There are two types of tzaddikim. There's the tzaddik for himself, and there's the tzaddik who is out in the world. But they're both tzaddikim in their own way. And we can't put either one of them down. Each one has their function in the world, and we have to respect each one. And never, never, ever put anyone down. Any of these tzaddikim. Okay, Gemara.